This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
It is ATL Day Ones. I am Jarvis. That is Tenitra. Woo! It is hump day in the building today. Tenitra, I don't know about you, but this is something that I am so excited about. But you know, I gotta say what I'm really excited about. Okay. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers to Locked On Sports Atlanta. We want to thank y'all for riding with us. We are going on for a long ride because we are not going anywhere anytime soon, at least to my knowledge. So we want to thank you for if you have not subscribed, go ahead and become the 1,000 subscriber. Yeah. You know, you might get a prize. You never know. You know, we got a little change around here now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I just got a handshake and a hug.
I love it. Tenitra keeps with the buck on this show. That's what we do. And we want to thank you for making ATL Day Ones your first listen each and every day. We are on Monday through Friday, so don't miss us. If you miss a day, you missed a lot. If you missed it, make sure you catch up. And we are free and available wherever you download your podcast. Falcons head coach Arthur Smith told Falcons Radio Network yesterday that they're going to coach with a chip on their shoulder. Yes. We're trying to figure out what the hell does that mean. What status does Nate McMillan should he have? What kind of status? Where should he be currently staying with the Hawks organization? Mm-hmm. And then for the culture, Tenitra and I can't stand a damn thief. But before we get there, we got to start with the Atlanta Falcons. Like I mentioned, Arthur Smith got a chance to talk to Falcons Radio Network. A lot of good Jews, a lot of good nuggets. He was talking about how the main thing for them is, I believe that they want to establish an identity this year. They had to kind of parse through the roster in their first year. There were some guys that they probably had on the roster that they couldn't do anything with, and that's, you know, they want to get some of their guys in there. We saw that, you know, with guys like Rashaan Evans and Marcus Mariota being brought in because those are the type of guys they feel that they can help build the culture, right? Mm-hmm. And I was with Arthur Smith then. Then he started to say that we want players to play with a chip on the shoulder. I totally get that edict, right? Mm-hmm. But what the hell does he mean when he says they're going to coach with a chip on the shoulder? Like, can you help me out with that one? Hey, help me out because, you know, I know football, but, you know, sometimes I need to lean on you to kind of just break it down for me, and then we can have a conversation about it.
For me, that harken back to the comments that have been consistent across the offseason, which is this is not a rebuild. So that to me says we have a
lot of reconstruction on this show.
Right. Or like I've been saying, the Falcons are about that building life. That's what I'm gonna call it now. Instead of about that rebuild, about that building life. And Indeed. What I believe Arthur Smith is trying to say is that that coaching staff is coming into this season with something to prove, because they want to prove to themselves and to everybody else who's scratching their heads and still calling this a rebuild or reconstruction or whatever term you want to use. They want you to know that that's not what it means to them. And they want you to know that they have been putting pieces in place in Flowery Branch, whether that's through the offseason and free agency or through the draft, to compete. So when I heard him say that he was going to have a chip on his shoulder as a coach, his staff would have one, and the players, I was like, bet. That's consistent with what you've been saying, that we're going to play with some edge. We're going to play like every game. All 17 of these games are meaningful to us, and we're going to compete like we're going onto that field every game, believing that we can win.
You know what? And I think that, like you said, the message has been consistent, and that's the thing that's the only thing you would ask for when you're talking about a rebuild, reconstruction, building life, whatever you want to refer to it as. You need some consistency, right? And I like the word that you use, edge. They need consistent players coming off the edge and rushing the passer. They need guys that can consistently block on a weekly basis for their quarterback, so he won't die at the end of the 17 games.
Yeah. I go back to something that you just said as well. Just wanted to throw that nugget in while it's on my mind, and that's going back from getting away from slogans, but being about that real talk. So not talking about fast and physical just as a slogan, but he's talking about big, like fast and physical. Like, no, I'm going out and give me some big guns. So when I go out and get a receiver, I'm gonna go get somebody like Drake London, or like you said, when I go out and get somebody to shore things up, I'm gonna go out and get Arnold Ebiketie. I'm going out to get the kind of prototypical player that's not gonna just be about a slogan, but that I've actually shown to have had success with in past iterations.
And you know what? And I think that you bring Drake London is the perfect example of, having a chip on his shoulder, right? Because everybody's told him he's too slow, and he's a 4.7 guy, and you can tell like he has feel like he has something to prove, because he's not like Julio Jones. Julio Jones, like everybody, okay, yeah, he's gonna be the GOAT as soon as from day one. Of course, that's a high expectations, but he Kyle Pitts, that's a unicorn. He's gonna come in and do his thing. Drake London comes in, 6'4", 219. Has the most contested catches in college football by a long shot. You're too slow. You can't separate. So I think that there, and Tyler Algier, out of BYU, the running back out of BYU, he has a chip on his shoulder. He's changed positions, and this dude doesn't have position. And then Troy Anderson, and just if you're looking at this draft class, it just seems like that was the mold that they wanted to continue to just build, not only build, but kind of break out, right? This is how they're going to build their culture, with guys who have something to prove. And I think that they kind of moves into what I, wanted to kind of touch on. Like, we know there were a lot of questions last year with Kyle Pitts and whether or not he should have been drafted with the 4th overall pick. I know I questioned it a lot because, given, like we talked about, edge and rushing the passer and all that stuff and blocking for that guy, I was like, okay, y'all have more pressing needs. However, Kyle Pitts went on to break the rookie Falcons receiving record, and he justified that pick for Terry Fontenot, saying, okay, we understand. After the season, we were like, okay, I understand why you got Kyle Pitts. That's a guy that's going to be able to make some plays for you and do his thing. My question to you is, who could be that Kyle Pitts player this year? The guy who you look at it at the end of the season and say, you know what? I understand why Terry Fontenot drafted this dude.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stick with who I've been. What is that phrase, Jarvis? Whatever you got to the dance with, stick with what got you to the dance, or whatever.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Me and AK. That's my new
AK-47.
That's my new BFF. Yeah. So, Arnold, that's gonna be my dude. I'm riding with him because, okay, Jarvis, all of us have been talking about over and over again how the Falcons should get this help on defense. The Falcons should do this about, edge rusher and affecting the quarterback and getting Grady, not just, the interior line, but just getting Grady some help on defense overall in terms of him being the leader of that core, right? All right, well, then there's your help. Help. And that takes nothing away from the other players that were not just like a Troy Anderson or anyone else who was drafted, if you will, or even your undrafted free agents and even your free agents. I'm taking nothing away. I am hoping we can get some good things out of even a Lorenzo Carter. We haven't, really spoken a lot about him, but hopefully. But who I'm looking forward to getting something out of is him, because I'm like, you know what? Everybody's been asking, and Terry Fontenot finally gave us, maybe not in the first round, but finally gave folks what they wanted to see in the second and later rounds. So I am so hoping that I'm hoping he's going to show and prove. That's who I'm going to have my eye on when you and I head to Flowery Branch, hopefully this Saturday, to take a look at those guys for rookie minicamp. I'm going to have my eye on him from day one and just keep watching and keep hoping that he's going to be the truth.
Yeah, I think that is an excellent pick. And I actually thought about my guy, but I want to kind of go dig dig a little bit because I know that both of us really were pretty high on Ebiketie, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go into D'Angelo Malone. D'Angelo Malone out of West Kentucky, right? Leading all-time sack leader at West Kentucky, and here not necessarily because he has an amazing skill set, right? But I think he's going to be able to get that immediate production because of the role he's going to be in. And I think the fact that he's going to be able to be in a role where he's going to be a specialist. He's going to be able to come in on third downs. I believe Dean Pease is going to utilize him in that manner because I think Arnold Ebiketie is probably going to be the starter at outside linebacker. And playing that many snaps as a rookie is going to take some time for him to kind of get Ebiketie, that is, to get adjusted to being out there for so many plays and know when to pick and choose his spots to, from a pass rushing standpoint. But I think D'Angelo Malone is going to come in and just like, Pease is going to be like, hey, Malone, go get the quarterback. I don't want you to worry about nothing else. And I think Pease is a guy that I think that can utilize guys and maximize guys' potential. And I think Malone is probably going to be the guy that's going to have the most opportunity to make an impact in his rookie season. Now, last night, the Braves, we talked about at the end of the yesterday's show about how we were hoping for a Braves win. They did not get that. They lost to a team that was 8 games under 500, and that was just how it went down. They lose 9-4 to the Boston Red Sox, and I think one of the things that I think is a positive for me, T, is that even though Kyle Wright gave up 6 runs in the second inning, the Red Sox basically blew open the doors, the grand slam by Devers and all that good stuff. I think the fact that he to go 4 2/3 without giving up any more runs, I think that was the big positive because, oftentimes in the past, Kyle Wright has been a guy like if he struggled like that, Snicker would have pulled him out. But he stuck with him and allowed Kyle Wright to figure it out. And I think that's one thing that, Kyle talked about after the game and how this was something that, that was good for him because he was able to work through it. And I think that's going to be the big key for his development going forward.
Yeah, because that's what you need to do for him in the beginning of a season so that when you need him towards the end of the season or even in the postseason, he's already gotten some of those kinks out, whether those are mental kinks or physical kinks. And for me, the positive that came out of that game was Travis d'Arnaud. I mean, just what Travis d'Arnaud has been able to do, hitting that 2-run home run to say, wait, I know you were up 6-0, but we got a little something for you, even though the offense never quite caught up the rest of the way. But he put the Braves in position where they felt like they could do it. 9th multi-hit game of the season. Only 2 other catchers in the entire league are doing the same thing that Travis d'Arnaud is doing. And when you look at what he was able to do, or even Matt Olson with his 13th double-double, or his 13th double, if you will, I would look at it from the perspective of, okay, that now at least gives Brian Snitker some pause and some opportunity to say, I've been known to do some lineup shakeups in the past, some shakeups in that batting order. Maybe it's time for me to give another look at who should be in that cleanup spot, because even with Marcell Ozuna, obviously a sac fly there last night to get a run on the board, taking nothing away from that, but that was not really the offensive power that we were looking for from him. So maybe what we saw last night and what we've been seeing really the last couple of weeks will give Snit some pause. Interested to see 2 things. Number one, what that lineup looks like, the batting order looks like for tonight. And the little looked like a would-be tweak on Ronald Acuna Jr. Do we see him back-to-back games, or does he get that day off?
Yeah, that definitely gonna always. It seems like I'm really tired of right now Ronald Acuna being on some type of, I guess, pitch count, so to speak. I'm gonna use my air quotes for a pitch count. I think it's time for him to just let him play. Let's let the young man play. Listen to him. I know you understand. You got a plan for him, and y'all listen to the trainers and everything. He had a little bit of a scare last night, but, he ended up being fine going forward. I think if we can just not have to worry about whether or not Ron nephew is going to be in the lineup or not, I think that'll be great, and we'll see what Ian Anderson can do this evening, with first pitch being at 7:20. And coming up next, though, I think Nate McMillan has a certain status with this team. We'll discuss that next, right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra.